welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Alice.
I'm Betty.
And today, in our celebrations unit, we are talking about Thailand's Festival of Lights. Loi Krathong is Thailand's celebration of the water goddess. Again, excuse my pronunciation, as with every time we talk about foreign words. But this celebration is celebrating the water goddess of Thailand. So every country has their own festivals or their own celebrations. And this Festival of Lights is what we're talking about today.
这个听起来还蛮好玩的，泰国水灯节。我觉得这个等一下同学看一下，会不会很像台湾也有一些我们中元节的时候也会放水灯嘛？我觉得好像那个背后那个寓意其实都是蛮良善、蛮好、蛮温暖的。我们到时候再来看一下。但是我们先看一下标题，Thailand's Festival of Lights， 所以它是一个关于灯光。关于光的这个节日哦，然后呢，他说 Loi Krathong is Thailand's celebration of the water goddess。一样，我们有看到很难的字，就是 water goddess 是那个水神，那个水神呢，那个 goddess 它一定是女生，所以有些地方的神明它。很奇怪，神明它是有性别的，对，那这个那个水之女神哈，所以它这个 Loi Krathong 水灯节是泰国庆祝水之女神的日子，我们就来了解一下。
So we'll learn more after the break.
Thailand's Festival of Lights. Water is a valuable resource, and it plays an important role in Thailand's traditions, beliefs, and daily life. A festival called Loi Krathong is celebrated in the country every year to honor Thailand's goddess of water. The purpose of this holiday is to give thanks to the goddess and also ask for her forgiveness for polluting or wasting the water. There are many theories about the origins of the festival. A common one says that Nang Napoma, a woman living in the ancient Sukhothai kingdom in the 13th or 14th century, started the tradition. She designed a beautiful floating basket shaped like a lotus to worship the Buddha. And this basket became the basis of Loi Krathong. The date for the holiday changes every year, depending on the cycle of the moon, but it usually falls in November. This year, it will take place on November 28th. Loi Krathong is celebrated everywhere in Thailand. In Bangkok, many activities for Loi Krathong are held along the Chao Phraya River. Chiang Mai in northern Thailand has its own festival called the Eping Lantern Festival. It usually occurs at the same time as Loi Krathong. Neighboring countries such as Sri Lanka, China, Myanmar, and Cambodia also have similar holidays.
All right, let's start our first paragraph. We begin with, water is a valuable resource and it plays an important role in Thailand's traditions, beliefs, and daily life. So water, we all drink it, hopefully, you should, right? And it's a valuable resource, right? Resources include, I guess, kind of just everything really, like comes from the land. But water is one of the most valuable ones because we all need it to survive. We cannot live without water. And it plays an important role in Thailand's traditions, right? Things from the past that have continued on today, beliefs, what you believe in, and daily life. Everyday life.
So it's everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere, literally.
对，那我们来看一下说，水呢是非常重要的资源。这个 resource 跟 resort 都可以，有的人会那个 s 会念成 z， 这个都可以。那 Alice 老师刚才讲到，任何东西都算是一种资源。有时候是网络上的资料，这种是现在我们所谓的资源嘛，对不对？那 在以前的话，或者在现在，自然资源也是 natural resources，这个都可以哈。然后 it plays an important role in 这个呢，请同学帮我注意一下，那个 play an important role， 它后面一定要接 in， 然后每一次都会考，然后每一次都错，所以这个要注意哈。那个 important 它有时候会换掉，比如说 play vital role 哈，任何的重要的字你都可以把它放进去去做替换，那只是后面你一定要加 in 哦。所以水是很重要的资源，然后呢，它在泰国的这个传统 traditions， 然后 belief 这个是信仰哈，关于你这个比如说对神啊，这种信仰，还有你的日常生活中都扮演了很重要的角色。
A festival called Loy Krathong is celebrated in the country every year to honor Thailand's goddess of water. So we talked about water, and there is a goddess of water, which a goddess would be female. A god is usually male, goddesses are usually female. And this festival is celebrated every year to honor her. So not just, once in a while, right? It's a yearly or annual festival.
这里有个字还不错 ，annual 也是蛮常考的 ，annual 也是蛮常考的。annual 我们来拼一次
，annual，
对，每年的。然后呢，我们来看一下，他说 a festival called Loy Krathong 这个 called Loy Krathong 这个。从 called 到 Krathong 这边是一个形容词子句，它在形容这个 festival，所以你要注意那个 a festival is celebrated 这才是主要子句。如果同学读的时候有一点难的话，你要把那个形容词子句先把它拉出来。好，所以这个叫做这个 Loy Krathong 这个节日呢，它每一年呢，在这个国家都会去庆祝来举办。它为了呢，就是要向泰国的水的女神致敬。这个 honor 这个字啊，通常我们是把它当名词，对不对？荣誉、荣耀，比如说 you can defend the honor of your family。那比如说罗密欧与朱丽叶，你可以捍卫你家族的人的荣誉嘛。这边，那在这边呢，它是 honor， 它是动词，荣耀或向什么致敬都可以。
The purpose of this holiday is to give thanks to the goddess and also ask for her forgiveness for polluting or wasting the water. So that's pretty interesting because I think festivals giving thanks to a god or goddess is not too uncommon across the world. But asking for her forgiveness for wasting water or polluting it is pretty unique, I think. And polluting the water, unfortunately, a lot of our water in the world is polluted, right? People dump trash and other not so great things into the ocean. So that's why the ocean is polluted or our water is polluted.
I kind of like the reason why they're, having this festival because it seems pretty like human beings are starting to become more humble about things.
Like I think it is because a lot of, and I do, I think everybody, we do waste water sometimes too. So I think that's also relevant to all of us.
对，我们就在讲说，我觉得这个节日的寓意还蛮美的哈，我觉得还不错。他就说这个目的呢，这个节日的目的就是为了要感谢这个女神，这个不是很不常见，所以其实我们就是要谢神嘛，对不对？但是我觉得后面那个部分还蛮特别的，就是说他为了就是要还有第二个原因就是要祈求这个女神的原谅。为什么呢？因为我们污染或者是浪费了水，这个就。表示说人现在好像不是现在好像就是有一种比较谦卑的心态，你知道你自己是在对环境造成污染，但你好像就是在祈求原谅，然后可能大家可能有这个想法，所以比较不会浪费水，或者是对，因为你有意识到了嘛。那我们来看这个字 pollute 它是污染，它 ing 去掉，你要加一个 e 回去哦，它是去 e 加上 ing 的。它的名词呢，污染这个动作，这个过程叫 pollution。那如果你是污染物质的话，就是 pollutant。
Yes.
Let's try to put the three words into one sentence.
Oh boy.
Let's start with, for example, carbon dioxide is a pollutant. CO2. 它是一个污染物质。
And it is polluting our earth and it is creating pollution.
对，我说 CO2 这个污染物质，它在污染这个地球。那这污染这个地球就是 creating pollution， 制造污染。所以同学这样子把这个3个字把它背起来，试试看。
So let's take a little break and talk about paragraph 2. All right, on to our second paragraph. There are many theories about the origins of the festival. So the origins of the festival would be where the festival came from or how it originated. And there are many theories about it because maybe it happened so long ago that no one can really remember it. No one is still alive from back then. So there are theories, right? Ideas we have about what we think the answer is or what we think is like what happened. So those are theories.
对，他在这里就讲到说，其实关于这个节庆啊，有很多关于它起源的理论或者是想法、说法，来源不一哈。我们先来看到这个 origin 是起源。那刚才 Alice 老师有讲到 originate， 这是它的动词 originate originate。那这里 theory 呢，我觉得它很有趣。第一个，它可以讲说，真的理论，比如说 scientific theory，科学自然的理论，它是。你真的是写东西，然后产出一个理论，它是有根据。再来呢，你也可以把它当成说，我个人的想法是什么？个人的说法，比如说 My theory that Tom isn't showing up yesterday is because he was just being lazy, not that he was sick. 我觉得 Tom 没来，应该是我的理论是这样，这个就不是真的科学根据嘛，就是我的猜想。所以这个 theory 两个意思都可以使用。
A common one says that Nang Napamas, I think that's how you say it, a woman living in the ancient Sukhothai kingdom in the 13th or 14th century started the tradition. So again, these words that are in Thai, don't worry about the pronunciation. But this woman who lived way back in the 13th or 14th century, so I guess the 1200s or 1300s, she started this tradition, or at least that's according to this common theory.
我们就看到第一个关于这个理论呢是什么？他就说到有一个女生，她叫做 Nanapama， OK， 然后后面呢，他有讲到这个逗号的地方，因为没有人知道这个女生是谁嘛，所以他会用逗号的部分呢来解释。你只要在阅读文章里面看到逗号啊，很多时候他都是在解释前面的东西，不管它是形容词、子句也好，同位语也好，所以同学你要把它指到前面去哦。她是什么样的女生呢？哇，她就是住在呢这个。古素可这个叫做素可泰王国，古素可泰王国的这个女生，那这个古素可泰王国呢，它存活的年代大概是西元13到14或14世纪之间，那它就开始了这个传统。
She designed a beautiful floating basket shaped like a lotus to worship the Buddha, and this basket became the basis of Loi Krathong. Krathong? Yeah. But so what she did, right, a floating basket. So a basket is just something you use to carry things, right? Like a basket.
篮子.
Yes, a basket full of eggs or flowers. And she created a floating basket. That means when you put it in water, it doesn't just sink to the bottom. It floats on top of the water. And it is shaped like a lotus, a type of flower, to worship Buddha. So I think that's pretty interesting, like that, because the lotus, I think, is one of the symbols, sort of Buddha, right?
Right.
So yeah, to worship the Buddha, she created that lotus-shaped basket. That's pretty cool.
我们就来看它到底呢是怎么样来这个制作它最刚开始那个原版那个水灯哈。他就说呢，他就做了一个很漂亮的。会漂浮的这个篮子，这个篮子同学要小心，那个 shaped like a lotus， 这个 shaped like a lotus 一样，它又在形容前面那个篮子，什么样的篮子呢？看起来像是莲花的那个篮子，这个 shaped 它是当成动词塑形。那如果呢考试的时候真的考出来了，你可以选 shaped， 或者是你把关系子句还原回去，就会变成 which is shaped， which。这里的话是过去式，所以是 which was shaped like a lotus。然后 worship 的话是祭拜，它是为了要祭拜 Buddha 这个菩萨。那这个篮子呢，就变成了是现在的 Loi Krathong 它的原型根基，这个基础根据的来源。那个 worship 这个字，我觉得台湾人应该也是可以学习一下，因为 worship 就是祭拜的意思。那像我们现在祭祖啊，就是 worship your ancestors， 这个字有时候比较难翻worship。那我知道我要刚才要讲什么了，我刚才要讲这个女生啊 Nanapamas， 我知道我要讲什么了。Okay, so right now there is a like beauty contest in Thailand during this festival, and this beauty contest is titled Non-Napama。它有一个选美比赛，那这个选美比赛，因为这个女生她是第一个去做这个水灯的人，所以他们在这个水灯节 的期间呢，会办这个选美比赛。那这选美比赛的名字就用它的名字而命名。那在哪里举办呢？哎呦，它就是在这个素可泰，他们现在那个素可泰有一个Sukhothai Historical Park， 它有一个纪念公园，在这个地方举办。对，所以 it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a really neat tradition to kind of honor her memory.
对，还蛮有贯彻性的，就是以前是她发明的，然后现在有个比赛是 dedicated to her.
Yeah, so she must have been very beautiful for a beauty pageant. So the date for the holiday changes every year depending on the cycle of the moon, but it usually falls in November. So this is one of those holidays where it's not a set date every year. For example, Christmas is always on December 25th, but some holidays, right, it's not always the exact same day. Like I believe Mother's Day is usually the second Sunday of every May. And so every year it's a slightly different date. It's just around the same time. And so here, this date for this holiday is not always on the exact same date, but it's usually, it usually falls in November.
这个其实台湾人应该很熟悉，因为台湾的很多的很大的节庆啊，其实都是用那个农历来计算的，像是过年嘛，就每一年都不同时间，所以呢，这个节庆它也是一样的哦。The date for the holiday changes every year. 这个节庆的日期呢，每一年都在改变。Depending on 就是视什么而定，所以它是视什么而定呢？视月亮的周期而定，其实就是也跟我们一样是看农历的。But it usually falls in November. 这个 fall 不是跌倒，这个 fall 就是坐落在哪边哈，就是在哪个时候发生。同学可以稍微记一下，因为我们这一篇呢会教到很多发生的这个英文。第一个就是 fall， 第二个等一下就要出现。那这个 depending on 可能我们再讲一点点。那个 depend on 有一个还蛮好用的，这个日常生活中，比如说视情况而定的话，我们可以怎么讲？就是不一定
Yeah, like you could say, I will go to this party depending on the weather. Like if the weather is good, depending on the weather, I might go to the party. But if it's raining, maybe I won't go.
Sometimes we just say it depends, right?
Yeah, it depends.
It
That's
depends.
a good phrase.
不一定哈，到时候再看看。那这个 cycle 就是周期啊，那个 cycle 就是圆形的东西，像那个 bicycle 它就是从 cycle 来的嘛。bicycle by 是两个，就两个轮子这样，所以 cycle 就圆圆，这个就是周期。比如说 life cycle 生命周期。好，我们来看下一句。
This year, it will take place on November 28th. So November 28th is in November, right? And if you are planning to maybe visit Thailand, maybe November 28th or around that time would be a good time because then you can experience the festival, right?
这个 take place 呢，其实就跟前面那个 falls 有一点点像，在这边的用法其实是很接近的。他就说今年的话呢，这个节庆呢会在11月28号举办。这个跟 fall 跟 take place 他们后面都是加时间嘛。那同学要注意，这个 take place 它中文是翻译成发生。那很多时候我们要翻译成什么东西发生，比如说发生车祸了哈，或者是发生什么不好的事情，我们好像就是很难造句翻译。比如说我们会说 "An car accident happened"， 对不对？我们常会说什么小明发生车祸，你就很想把小明放在前面，然后加 happen。其实我们很少这样子用，通常那个 take place。happen 它的主词都是东西，所以我们会说，比如说车祸发生，然后在小明身上，这个 take place 也是一样的，都是东西当主词，人是不能当主词的哦。
So let's take a little tiny break and then we'll talk about our final paragraph. Okay, our final paragraph. Loi Krathong is celebrated everywhere in Thailand. So it is not just a regional festival, right? Some places have regional holidays or regional festivals, but this is a national festival. It is nationwide.
这个举办的很大，而且泰国的观光局啊，好像把它列为就是如果我们要去泰国观光的话，就一定要参加的。对，所以如果同学去查的话，网络上有蛮多他的报道的。他就说啊，这个节日啊，它其实是泰国的每一个地方都会庆祝。It's celebrated。那这里是用被动，同学要小心。
In Bangkok, many activities for Loi Krathong are held along the Chao Phraya River. I think that's how you say it.
Another difficult word.
Yeah, Chao Phraya River. So activities, right? Most holidays and festivals have lots of activities going on, right? There are performances, there are, things to eat, right? Food stands. Sometimes there's games, right? There's just so many activities for people to participate in.
你可以想象，就是我们刚才有讲到那个选美比赛嘛，这里也是讲，就说比如说在曼谷啊，有很多的这个活动，这个水灯节有很多个活动呢，都会在沿着这个湄南河举办，因为你要放水灯嘛，你一定要沿着河嘛，不然你要沿着哪里？那同学要小心这个 along， 它不是那个一个人那个 alone。所以它是 along 沿着哈，所以它后面是 ng， 它不是ne 哦，这个同学要小心。然后这个 activity 就是任何的活动，比如说课后活动，就同学很常就是下课之后嘛，妈妈可能帮你安排了什么活动，就叫 after school activities，或者是比如说户外活动 outdoor activities， 这个字还蛮好用的。那曼谷的话，我们先讲一下，曼谷的话它是比较靠南边靠海的地方，台湾人很喜欢去曼谷跟巴达雅嘛，因为他们在隔壁嘛。那我们等一下会讲到在北边怎么庆祝。
So next we have Chiang Mai, I think that's how you say it,
right,
Chiang Mai in northern Thailand has its own festival called the Epeng Lantern Festival. So this festival would be a regional festival, right? If it's not nationwide, if it's not celebrated everywhere in the country, it would be considered a regional festival.
所以我们就讲到说，在清迈是在泰国北边的那个地方，所以呢，它就有它自己的节庆，叫做这个我们把它翻译成天灯节。那个 Epeng Lantern Festival， Epeng 应该在泰文就是天灯的意思。那它在这个天灯节呢，它会放天灯，就很像台湾我们以前也会放天灯，现在因为放天灯有点危险，所以我们就是不一定就叫大家不要放。但是呢，他们那个天灯其实跟台湾的有一点像，而且他们在放天灯的同时也会放水灯，所以是两个都会放，这样子就很多灯，上面下面都是灯。
That must be very beautiful.
Yeah, you can imagine.
Yeah.It usually occurs at the same time as Loi Krathong. So it's kind of interesting how they say like they have the same, it's kind of like the same festival really, or very similar festival. But yeah, this is Lantern Festival versus I guess a water festival. It kind of goes hand in hand, I think.
Probably it's related to a little bit to history. Like probably they were in different regions or...
Yeah, I think like it's just kind of interesting how, because you mentioned there's lanterns, like the sky type of lanterns and also water lanterns. So I think that's, they're kind of connected in a way.
Yeah, it's quite interesting here. 就我们就觉得还蛮有趣的，就是一个地方，可是一个是只有放水灯，一个是两个齐放这样子。他就说 it usually occurs， 通常呢会在什么时候发生呢？通常会跟水灯节是在同一个时候，所以他们其实就是同一个节庆，只是可能庆祝的方式不一样。这里我们又看到一个字 occurs， 这个呢要再提醒同学，我们刚才前一段看到 falls， 对不对？在什么时间举办 take place， 那这个 occur 其实都是一样的用法 ，occur 一样哦，人都不能当主词哦，在什么时候发生
？Neighboring countries such as Sri Lanka, China, Myanmar, or I think it's Myanmar, and Cambodia also have similar holidays. So holidays often kind of cross countries sometimes, right? Because of historical reasons, right? People migrate. And so, it's not just in Thailand that we see holidays like this. In Sri Lanka, right, which is kind of nearby, China this way, Myanmar is I think this way, Cambodia is this way. They're all neighboring countries, like because they are neighbors, right? Neighbors are people who live next to you, like my next door neighbors. And so you can also say neighboring countries or neighboring cities.
对，这里的 neighbor 用的比较特别哈，我们通常讲 neighbor 它都是用在名词的邻居，它其实跟动词就是邻近的，所以 neighboring countries 就是在它隔壁的，在它隔壁的国家呢，它接壤的国家，比如像斯里兰卡啦，像中国啦 ，Myanmar 就是缅甸，然后 Cambodia 柬埔寨。都有很类似的节庆，我觉得这蛮酷的，就是我们怎么在不同的地方，然后他们发展出来的是一样的东西。
Yeah,
对
and it's interesting to see like they have small differences sometimes, but also a lot of similarities. So it's very interesting how it developed over time.
Right， 在台湾也是有嘛，对不对？中元节是，而且放灯的意思我们都是要祈求，台湾比较不一样，就是祈求上帝对那个孤魂野鬼就是好一点嘛，对不对？那所以我觉得都是很美好的寓意 ，has some beautiful meanings behind each festival.
Yeah. With beautiful lights and beautiful meanings. So that is all the time we have today, sadly, but we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.